So, if you guys are facing a daunting situation in your life at the moment, there's a lot of ways of overcoming this. So I'm going to tell you of the time that I abseiled for the first time and what happened. Welcome to the channel. What is going on, my lovely people? Welcome to the Mega Mank. How's Sunday shaking ya? So today we're going to be talking about confidence building, and one of the most daunting things that I did was abseiling. If you guys don't know what abseiling is, basically it's the opposite to rock climbing, except from you're not climbing down a wall, you're kind of scaling down it on a very thin piece of rope that that hardly looks like it's going to support your weight. And I mean, gravity is against you. Seriously, gravity is against you because you lean out from that balcony and you're about to go down all the way down that wall, and you can see the ground below you, and you think, "This is it, man. This is it. I'm going down." Um, that's the way that I see it, at least. But you don't realize that when you abseil for the first time, you've got that rope that's supporting you. You've got that team of people at the back that's obviously secured you. You've got professionals that have attached you to that harness, and it's not so daunting when you get down. So let me paint this picture for you real quick. So you've been given a cabin in Wales, up in the hills. It's a school trip. And basically, what they're doing is they're doing confidence building. So, what it is, they do canoeing, they do zip lining, rock climbing, and then they do abseiling as well. So we must have spent about an afternoon there, something like that. The teachers reassured us it wasn't going to snow. Yeah, that kind of changed real quick because there was snow on the top of the peaks of the hills and stuff like that. So we were like, yeah, this is definitely going to be snow. Um, so we go to bed. We wake up in the morning, and lo and behold, we have snow outside. And they went, no, we're not going to cancel the abseiling that we're going to do. We're going to take you up and we're going to basically do the abseiling with you. But we're going to do it on the towers. So basically, what the towers were, they had rock climbing on one side, abseiling on the other, and I'm not too sure how tall they were. They were pretty tall. So we walk through this wooded part of the land on this public pathway kind of thing, and we get up to the top, like up to one of the top hills, and you've got these massive kind of tower things. Obviously, rock climbing on one side, abseiling on the other, and we're told who wants to go first. So the most unconfident students, myself and another guy, are chosen to go first. We go up to this tower, and I mean, it is bitterly cold. It's been snowing all night. There's ice everywhere. We're going up into this tower. The tower's shaking. I mean, the wind is blowing that hard. You can feel it under your feet because this tower's made of wood. So the structure's not exactly. I mean, it's stable, but it's not fully. If that makes sense. It's like you can feel the vibrations of the wind going through there. The wind was that strong. So then we get up to the peak, and there's snow all over the top of this tower. And what it is, it's a ledge, and the snow is coming through this massive gaping hole at the top where they do the abseiling, and it's covered the entire platform. So of course, a couple of us are a bit like, "Is this safe? Should we be up here?" Because it's an ice. It was like an ice field at the top, and I felt like if I slip, I'm gone. Like there was no safety barriers or anything like that. You've got to understand this was back. Oh, blooming heck, what are we looking? Noughties, something like that, maybe 2009. Safety precautions weren't as strict as they are now, so there was literally nothing stopping us from falling out if we did. So we got told to put on these harnesses, and we had the top harnesses and the bottom harnesses, and we were attached to a rope. And the guy goes, right, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put your heels straight to the back of the platform. You're going to face backwards from the drop. You'll put your heels straight to the back of the platform and then just lean outwards. The rope will support you. And I looked at this drop and I went, no, I'm not doing that. There's no way. And at this point, I'm looking at this drop going, am I shaking because I'm scared, or am I shaking just because I'm cold? Right? So this guy's like, just gently lean back, just gently lean back. I'm like, no. And this went on for about 5 minutes. The other guy who went up with me has already gone down and went, it's really fun, you should try it. Um, But after about this 5 minutes, I was like, I can't do this, right? And this is the point that I'm trying to get at, because there gonna be times in your life where you've got to do things that you necessarily don't want to do. They're scary things. You know what I mean? I can understand that they're super scary things. But as far as that, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen unless you try. You know what I mean? It's like, for instance, this is my first video on this YouTube channel. I was um I was experiencing like really daunting feelings doing this, because I was like, well, what happens if this YouTube channel doesn't work out? You know what? I'm not gonna know unless I try. I'm not gonna know unless I try. So if you're going through something right now where you need to do something, I mean, give it a go, man. I mean, that's the only thing that you can do right now. As I said to one of my friends a while back, when he was like, he was going, I really fancy this girl in work, and I said, well, why don't you go ask her out? And he said, well, I can't. And I said, why can't you? And he's like, well, what happens if she rejects me? And I said, well, mate, if she rejects you, it's not the end of the world. You know, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You've got other choices. You know what I mean? That sounds bad, but like, if she says no to him, or she's already in a relationship, there's plenty of other people out there that you can get to know. And he said, well, what happens if she just rejects me? I said, look, if you're 50 years old and you look back on this point now and go, should have done that. You know what I mean? But then if you look back at 50 years old and you tried, then you could turn around and say, oh, you know what? I tried at that. I gave it a good go. I didn't get anywhere, but at least I can say that I tried. So going back to the abseiling, I humoured this guy when he turned around and said, oh yeah, the rope will support you. I put my feet back a little bit and I leaned backwards on the rope, and lo and behold, the rope supported me. And then he said, slowly walk down the wall, kind of thing. And what you're going to do, there's a rope next to you, kind of thing. He taught us about the ropes before we went down, obviously. But the rope next to us lowers us down, kind of thing. You feed it through. And we got on this wall. I got on this wall with another person. And yeah, it was the most exciting moment of my life. I'd do it again. Definitely. I think for me it was more conquering my fear of heights, but as soon as I got down that wall, like, I just felt exhilarated. I felt fresher, you know what I mean? Like a newer person, because like I'd gone through that. That wasn't something normally that I would do. So I would say that if you're having problems doing something, like, just give it a go, man. Just do it. What's the worst that can happen? As long as you're not hurting anybody or you're not doing anything that's legally wrong, give it a go.